Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about the double standards when it comes to this actor filming, hiring actors for entertainment and shows because it's starting to get really aggravating. So, Warner Brothers rumors, be in mind this is supposed to be a rumor, is basically looking for a non-white actor to play the role of John Constantine. And it's just like, why? Why go out there and purposely do this? Because I'm really sick and tired of hearing people always talking about, oh, maybe that was the actor for the best job. No, you can look at casting calls in open public, and the casting literally is saying that they're purposely looking for not a person that is talented enough, but a person of a different color. More so than anything, they're looking for a person of color for a role that is originally white. That makes absolutely no sense. And before everybody be like, "Oh, Keanu Reeves is part Asian or whatever because of his Constantine movie," first off, the movie wasn't even all that great. People really didn't like that movie. And second of all, his mother is from Essex. She was born in the UK. His father is what I think from Hawaii, I believe, and his father has a multitude of backgrounds. So technically, he's only quarter Asian. Before somebody be like, "Oh, well, he has that Asian part of him, or that Hawaiian part of him." It's still quarter of all of that, but he was still majority white. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Keanu Reeves, you see majority white, not another blatantly half white, half Asian person. Anyway, you know what I mean? You mostly see a white person, and a white person who actually has a family that has background from, the UK. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. Why are we doing these changes and stuff like that? And I'm really getting tired of the people that don't read these characters telling comic book fans that they need to get over themselves. If it wasn't for the comic book fans buying this stuff, reading these characters wouldn't be out for dummies like y'all who always want to be like, "Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, race doesn't matter." No, race only matters when it's a character of color being changed to another race, then it's a problem. Or when they're being changed to white, then it's a problem. But when we're taking classical white characters and making them another race, oh, it doesn't really matter. Race isn't a big thing. But then when you say, okay, what about Black Panther? Well, his race is part of his thing, so you really can't. What? No. According to your logic, I can change a character's race and gender or sexuality, no problem. No problem at all. I can do that. From your logic, when you're over here trying to tell people like me that I am wrong for wanting to keep the character originally what the character is originally is, you say, "Oh, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't affect who the character is." Really? Really? But then if I take iconic characters like Storm, Blade, Luke Cage, Shang-Chi, you know what I mean? All of these classical characters, Thunderbird, for instance, these characters are traditionally other, nationalities and race or whatever and stuff like that. But if I take those characters and cast it a white person in the role or another race in the role, you guys will be saying that, oh, that's whitewash or that's cultural appropriation because that character doesn't is what it is and you can't change their race. Okay, if you're going to say that for people of color, then you have to say the same thing for white people. There are white people in the real world. You just can't go and race change them, just like you can't go and race change a black person to be another race. another Asian person to be another race and vice versa. It just doesn't work. Stop with the nonsense. And then you get mad that you're not getting the fans that you want, or you're getting major backlash, and then try to blame fans for being racist. It makes absolutely no sense. Stop race changing, sexuality changing, and gender thing. And matter of fact, I'm not even about to go with the whole, oh, certain characters. No, no, at this point, don't do it at all, because clearly you don't have a restraint on none of it. You don't have a restraint on none of it anymore at this point. We got to stop with the race changing, because now that I'm thinking about it, all of these times where characters have been race changed took away from the original characters of color being cast in those in not in those roles, but in the movie or show or whatever and stuff like that. Tell me why you couldn't cast a black person in the show of Constantine, make that character original character, make that a magical person in training or whatever. There's other black magician themed characters in the world of DC or whatever and stuff like that. If you really got to make the person of color, you know what I'm saying? Don't sit up here and tell me that you can't do that. No, you don't want to do that because that takes time and effort. Instead of actually bringing those characters into the forefront, you get lazy and race change them. And once again, when you race change them, you'll have those characters go through the racist issues that those characters have no business dealing with, because those characters were never originally that race. And you're going to do that. You're going to focus on that kind of nonsense. It's the same thing when you take a classical character that is straight and then you make them gay for no reason. Then you focus on the fact that they're gay or part of the LGBT community and go with the whole homophobia storyline. You keep doing the same thing over again, instead of taking the characters that are originally gay or originally female or originally male, originally white, originally black, originally Asian, originally Native American or whatnot. You don't think about that kind of stuff because you're just lazy. You want to get that instant money, but you always don't want the backlash that come with it. You can't have it both ways. Either you cast correctly or you don't cast correctly and deal with the backlash and more than likely not get people interested in. Remember, this stuff is supposed to be going on streaming services. This isn't some movie or anything or whatever. So just because people are streaming the stuff doesn't mean that they're going to stream that show. They're not going to watch it probably. And even if it was in movies, they're not going to watch it, because you know why? You're turning people off more and more every day because you're constantly doing it. You're not doing it sporadically where it's not noticeable or where it's like, okay, every once in a blue moon. You're doing it every damn week. And it's getting tiring. It's getting tiresome. Don't nobody want to keep dealing with that kind of stuff. Why keep supporting these companies or whatever and stuff like that when they clearly hate the fan base that they really want to get? You say that you want to make entertainment for me, but yet you constantly spit in my face as a fan, as a person who consumes your products, a person that buys your stuff, and you constantly tell me how wrong I am about these race changes or these changes to characters that I've been reading for a long time and been really excited about seeing finally portrayed or whatever, and then you give me your ass a kiss and then get mad that I don't want to watch it. Like, I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. This is crazy. The story plot of the new HBO Max John Constantine movie show that might go into Justice League Dark sounds lazy. You need a charming person like Matt Ryan to fill the role, not a person of color, a charming young fella that actually is from London, if you really want to get really accurate, or knows London tendencies, to play a Londoner, but a UK person, or Brit, how do you say it? I am so sorry. I probably know I butchered some slang from the UK and stuff like that. I'm not familiar with it, but that is the point. You don't get a random person of color and then drop them into the UK and then just be like, okay, this character was always there to begin with, when they wasn't. When, if you pick up the original Hellblazer run, it goes really in depth in his life, his struggles, his family. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. And I'm really getting tired of seeing people of color picking up comic books when they get casted and be like, oh look, I'm the new whatchamacallit character. That character is white. You do realize that, right? And you're not. But you never see a person of color casted as a person of color picking up the person of color comic book and be like, oh look, I'm casted as this character. It's weird. It's weird. Cut the bull crap. I mean, do you want money or do you don't want money? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.